Okay, my dear students, we have already discussed about the aggregate demand in the previous video. Now in this video, I am going to discuss about the aggregate supply. So here that is the word, that is the supply. So if we cover one term, that is the aggregate, then it is the supply. So in case of supply, you have already studied in a standard 11 that the quantity of a commodity which is offered to sell in the market by a particular producer, then it is known as supply. But here the term is aggregate supply. So it means what? Aggregate supply refers a situation in which all the producers are willing to supply their commodity at a given period of time. In other words, we can say it is the total money value. It is the total money value of final goods and services which is offered by the producers, or the producers are willing to sell in the economy in a given period of time. So here the term is in the economy means all the producers. Okay, so when it is the money value of all the final goods, it means that is the income. That is the income. So why we say it is the income? Because when the production will take place, okay, so everybody, you know, there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. And every factors of production get the rewards for their here you can say for their contribution. So okay, so that is the income which is generated by the producer. It is distributed among the 4 factors of production in the form of reward. Okay, so we can say aggregate supply is the income. So it is the income of not an individual, but it is the income of whole economy, or it may be in the form of domestic, or it may be in the form of national. So here the income is considered as national income and it is denoted by Y. Is it clear? So now come, as we know that whatever the income will be generated, okay, it is either it is used either for the consumption or for the saving. So Y is equal to, we know that C plus S, and aggregate supply helps to generate income. So we can say AS is equal to C plus S is equal to Y. Okay, so as I told you previously that aggregate supply is the total money value of all the final goods which all the producers are willing to supply in the market, and that's why they generate the income, and that income is known as aggregate supply. And we also know that aggregate supply is equal to either the consumption or the saving. Clear? Now it can be explained with the help of following schedule. So now come for the schedule. Here look, that is the Y and it is the national income. Okay, so whenever we generate the income, either we will consume or we will save. Clear? So what you find here, when the income is equal to 0, consumption is equal to 50. So it is the minimum consumption level for the survival of the life, and it is also known as autonomous consumption. But think yourself, if there is no income, how the consumption is possible? So this consumption either can be done through the borrowing or through from past saving. Okay, so if you are utilizing your past saving, it means whatever the money which was saved by you, it will starts to reduce. So how much it will reduce? That is, saving will become minus 50. Clear? Now, when the income is suppose 50, your consumption is suppose 75, so again your saving is minus 25. Clear? Now, if your income is 100, your consumption is also 100, then your saving will 0. And next, when your income is 150, your consumption is 125 and the saving will 25 and so on. So what you find? We find that before the break-even point, it is also known as break-even point, when the C is equals to Y, that is known as break-even point. Okay, so before the break-even point, the consumption is greater than income. At the break-even point, consumption and income is equal. But after the break-even point, the consumption is less than income, because after a particular point of time, every consumer wants to save their money. They are not interested to spend their money all. A part of their income is saved. That's why the saving has become positive. Okay, so as I told you that AS is equal to C plus S, so whenever you will add consumption and saving, it will always equals to Y. So Y is equal to A plus S. So here consumption is, that is 50 plus saving is minus 50. Is it clear? So plus minus minus, so 50 minus 50 is equal to 0. Okay, so that here the AC will become 0, or here you also find that income is 0. Clear? So 0, 50, 100 and 150 is our AS. Clear? So in this way we find that as the income is increasing, consumption is also increasing, but reaching at a point it increases at a slow rate, and due to that the saving will becomes how much? Positive, and the value of AS and the value of Y both will be equal, because it is the money value of all the final goods and services. Now it can be also explained with the help of following diagram. So here just I want to draw a diagram, and one thing that is the most important, on the y-axis we will take, that is the C plus S, and on the x-axis we will take income, or we can say Y. Clear? So as I told you, C plus S is always equals to income, so it can be calculated when a hypothetical line is drawn at an angle of 45 degree. Clear? So the total angle is 90 degree. Unless we will not distribute at an angle of 45 degree, then consumption and saving will never be equals to S. Okay? So it is a psychological theory that, look here, suppose this is our horizontal line which is parallel to x-axis, means this line is showing the total income. Okay, and if we draw a line vertically on the vertical line, that is the C plus S, means it indicates consumption plus saving. Okay, so this line will always be equals to this line, because always consumption and saving will always equals to Y. Clear? Now here we will either write AS, or we can write the Y, or we can write C plus S. Clear? So in most of the book you will find that it is written AS, that is the aggregate supply, and aggregate supply, according to the definition, it is the money value. Now here some problem also arises among the students. So sir, if it is consumption is more, then in that case what will be the situation and how it will come at the same point? Again, look, suppose as I told you, on the y-axis we have taken consumption plus saving. Clear? So consumption will always positive. Consumption will always positive, whereas saving may be negative. Clear? Here consumption is positive and the saving is negative when the income is 0. So what it indicates? So as I told you, the income line is at an angle of 45 degree. Clear? So if this is the positive area and this is the negative area. Clear? So when the income is 0, that is your income, and suppose this is your consumption 50, then your saving will minus 50. So what will happen? This much is your negative value and this much is your positive value, and it will become equals to income, that will be 0. Now come to the second one, that would be easy to understand. First, when the income is 50, clear, and the consumption is 75, okay, so when the income is 50 and consumption is 75, so let this is your 75 and this is your positive value, okay, that is the C. But here your saving is minus 25, so this is the minus 50, so this is the minus 25. Clear? So what will happen? This much amount of vertically, this much amount is negative and this much amount is positive. So what will becomes? So y is equal to, sir, C plus S, and C is 75, whereas S is minus 25. So again the income will become 50. So again it will become 50, and that's why only to fulfill the psychological theory of Keynes, that is the 45 degree angle is drawn only to show either the Y or AS. Is it clear? Okay. So this is your AS theory. Just